So I've been wearing the New Balance Fresh Foam X Balos for over a month now, and I wanted to bring you guys a follow-up on my pros and cons on this excellent model from New Balance. This is an insanely comfortable pair of sneakers, and just so you guys know, this video is sponsored by New Balance. Shout out to them for sending me these shoes originally. Now, they don't get to dictate anything I say in the video, but full disclosure, they do sponsor the content. I will have another video comparing these to the 1080 V13s and the Fresh Foam X More V5s per your guys' request. So subscribe to the channel and check back later this month, and I will have that in probably another week or so. But I wanted to give you guys an update on the Balos because honestly, this was one of those shoes that I was excited to get and excited to wear. I wore these ones to Vegas, which was super fun. I took the kids to Vegas, actually. Never thought that would happen, but it was a fun trip. And I wore these exclusively on the trip, and it was honestly super, super awesome. And my wife ended up wearing the New Balance Fuel Cell Elite V4s the entire time as well. She really liked those shoes also, and I could have her do a review on those ones coming up. Because honestly, she's a very active lady, and she gets down on those shoes. And she also, I asked her which is her favorite of the three because she has those, the Fuel Cell Rebel V4s and then also the 1080 V13s. And she actually said the Fuel Cell Rebel V4s are her favorite out of all of them, which is actually the lowest price point of all of them. But this one is kind of a higher end price point, and these are $200 at retail. I will say that they do fit true to size. I got a 9.5 and that fits me just right. And just throwing this out there, they actually do offer wide versions available now over on New Balance. So if you guys would like to purchase a pair of these now or at the end of the video, please use the links in the description of the video. It lets New Balance know that you guys saw the video, supports the channel directly when you guys do that. Anyways, just to give you guys a quick recap of what New Balance says about this product. They recommend that these are best for every day, extra soft cushioning, the support is neutral, and the weight is 9.2 ounces. There's a 6 mm heel toe drop, and it says your new favorite training partner. These shoes feature innovative midsole design with ground contact EVA outsole for a lightweight, propulsive, and fast underfoot feel to take you seamlessly from training to race day. It does feature a PEBA-blended foam with pronounced rocker midsole for propulsive and fast underfoot feel, ground contact EVA outsole, as they already mentioned, and they also feature a lightweight and breathable creel mesh upper. Now I'll get into some of the pros and cons, but the first thing to note out of the description of the video is a ground contact EVA foam. That was one of my main concerns when I bought this shoe because I saw that, I felt these, and they're extremely soft underfoot in certain sections of the outsole, but I was kind of worried that that ground contact EVA foam would actually be just super thin and wear down super fast. Now, I'm not an expert runner or anything like that, and this is only from my experience, but I will say that this foam lasts a lot better than I anticipated it would. There are a couple visible wear spots in the rocker front section here and then also on the heel strike, but overall, like, it held up really, really well and surprisingly good considering how soft this foam is, which I'm happy to report back on. This is over a month of wearing these pretty much day in and day out, and pretty heavy on vacations and so on. And I've been wearing these to run with the dogs as well, which has been super fun. We're actually walking the kids to school now, and it's like a little bit over a mile, and then we have the dogs with us as well. So I'm running the whole way there in these and then walking back. But very impressed with how these have handled. I do like that you have extra durable rubber on the black section and then the back, and then also in the toe section of the shoe, and then a little bit of a softer rubber with the orange pods on the bottom, and then in the white you have the very soft EVA foam. So they do feature 3 different densities of traction on the bottom and the reinforcement in the right areas, in my opinion. Now, the other concern that I had that I'm happy to report back, for me personally, and again, this is just my experience with the shoe, I did not find any crazy rocker sensation in the shoe. It does feature a rocker build, as you could see here, but it's not anything crazy, and it's not something that you feel like overly exaggerated when you're walking around. It feels like a nice little natural motion stride when you're walking, and I personally like it. There is no carbon fiber plate in the midfoot of the shoe, helping with that propulsive forward movement or anything like that. And also, just to make note, this is Fresh Foam X, not Fuel Cells. After wearing these and then wearing like the Elite V4s and the Super Comp Trainer V3s, those have a much more propulsive feel with the carbon fiber plate in the middle with a little bit more of that rocker sensation. Now, is it going to be best for standing around? I'll feature that in a video comparing these two because I'm not sure. I feel like the 1080 V13s might be better just for all day, everyday consumption, for standing and stuff, because there's a little bit less rocker motion. But this is like something that I was able to wear and wait in line for certain things here and there in Vegas. No problems at all. Like, I was carrying my daughter on my shoulders through some of the trip as well, and I felt stable enough and felt good on feet, and just overall it was a very, very pleasant experience. More on that though, so check back on the channel for a comparison between the 1080 V13s and the more V5s. Now, the next pro worth covering is just the midsole cushioning in general. The cushioning is insane. It is so incredibly good. It feels amazing. It is like the 1080 V13, but a better version of that. Now, if you've tried the 1080 V10, 11, or 12s, those are pretty good. Those are pretty comfortable. The 1080 V13, though, is much, much more comfortable than the previous 1080s, in my opinion. This is like the bigger brother of the 1080 V13. Insanely good comfort on these. And the midfoot strike having so much cushion as well is definitely noteworthy. As I'm running with the dogs, it's definitely noticeable. You feel the heel squish, you feel the forefoot squish, you feel a nice amount of cushioning underfoot. And for myself, with my old age and my old knees and stuff, like honestly, I really like that feeling underfoot. It's nice and squishy, it's soft. I can't say enough good things about this Fresh Foam X compound. It is a little bit different than some of the other ones out there. It's softer than the traditional Fresh Foam X that we've seen in the past because it is that PEBA EVA blend, but it's insanely good. I can't stress it enough. And if you've tried these since I posted my original video, please come back and leave a comment for other people. Truthfully, what do you think? Leave some comments what you think, pros and cons about the shoe, because I'd love to see some of the people's thoughts from the positive, but also from the negative. Please feel free to leave those comments. But the midsole is insanely good. Also, the width for myself is really good as well. There's enough width in the forefoot and in the heel that make these nice and wide. It's a really good option for myself to be able to walk around. I have a little bit of a wider foot. If you definitely have a wide foot, you can get the wide foot version of these. I didn't need to, and I feel perfectly fine in this model. I also like this mesh sort of cushioning on the inside of the shoe. It just feels nice for some reason. And also, while I'm feeling complimentary on the pros here, the colorway is excellent. I love that you have a nice looking colorway for launch. It was one shoe, one color. They had a men's and women's, slightly different, but very similar as well. But there's not 1,000 different colorways that they released of the model. You have one that is very cool. And in my opinion, it's perfect for the fall look, just with the Auburn sort of vibes, but it's also something that looks kind of like a collaboration in my opinion. I really like the way this looks, and I hope that some of these guys, Saleh Bembury and Action Bronson, I left a comment on his Instagram about it, because I saw he's collabing with the Fuel Cell Rebel V4, but he should get these and try these, because if he likes the comfy sneakers, this is the one that I think is just insane, especially since it's like the premium product at that $200 price point. I also do like the heel clips on the back, how they're functional. You do have the reflective nature back here, as well as just a little bit in the front. And I like that New Balance is very mindful of just having a reflective aspect to the shoe from all angles, from the front and then the side and then also on the back. So they do a great job of integrating that. It's something that they don't get enough credit for. I also do like the laces. They are nice and thin, a nice little plus there as well. And also the mesh on the upper is pretty breathable as well. You can see in the toe box, there's actually a dual layer of mesh down there, so you can see right through this top layer. I like that. To be honest, this one might be my favorite shoe of the year. It's so incredibly good. The 1080 V13 is insanely good, insanely comfortable. Again, this is like a little bit of a better version than that. Now let's get into some of the cons though, and that is the price point. $200 is a lot of money, I get that. And if you want to pay to play, then unfortunately that's the price point of it. But if you figure that's less than a pair of Jordan Retros and you have something that's new, modern, like, I don't know, very functional and extremely comfortable, then it's a good option. I personally like this space of like a nice premium felt runner that's not like so elite that I can't feel like I can wear it like a lot of the marathon sort of sneakers out there. This is something that's functional that you can wear every day and just be insanely comfortable. I just really enjoy this shoe. The only other con that I have to say about the shoe is it's kind of a con, but not really, is just the stretchy tongue. I do find it a little bit annoying. However, I understand the functionality of this, and because of the way that this tongue fits, it is more functional than not, because it's stretchy and it definitely molds to your foot a little bit on top, and it holds down your foot and locks it into place, which is necessary when I don't like to tighten my laces. However, I don't like how difficult it is to get on. I really have to be mindful and grab the tongue and kind of put it on. Otherwise, it gets kind of pushed down and then I have to readjust. I wish I could just slip them on and go. Unfortunately, that's not really an option. But I do understand why they design it this way, and once I put them on, I do appreciate the lockdown and it fits perfectly, and I don't feel like I'm having to adjust it, and the stability is greatly increased because of the style of tongue that they have here. So I don't mind it for that reason, but I also, it's just kind of a nitpick. It's like, I wish it had just a more of a traditional sort of feel, or just a little bit looser, but then if you do that, it is a little bit less stable when I wear them loosely. Obviously, then I have to lock them down a little bit more. So some metrics on these, if I had to update them, for casual usage, I would still say like a 9.5. They are very good for casual. I just don't know for standing all day if it's something that you're going to enjoy as much, because it is a little bit of a rocker profile. But honestly, it's one of those shoes I just throw on and I don't think, oh, that's a very rocky sort of feel. Like it feels like a good natural motion when you're walking around with insane amounts of cushioning underfoot. Stability is pretty good as well. I mean, obviously it's going to feel very squishy when you squish around left to right, but I don't feel like it's going to squish and then break. Sometimes the foams, like they give like this and you feel like there's a give point. They're so wide that I really enjoy what these offer. I would still give it like an 8, maybe even an 8.4 out of 10. Breathability, I'd say 8.7 is still fine. The traction is where it gets the biggest update. I'd give it like an 8.5 instead of a 7.5. I feel like it's actually really good. It's sticky too, the way you're walking around. Like I didn't feel like slippery or anything like that. It's kind of a sticky traction and it lasts a lot better than I anticipated. So, you know, 8.5, 8.7, something like that out of 10. Now, maybe over like long distances, this wears down more, but for the over the month that I've worn these things, they've lasted extremely well. And the overall comfort of this shoe, especially after wearing them, comparison like the, you know, all of the other New Balance shoes out there, all of the other shoes on the market, really, this one has to be on the highest end of the spectrum. And I'm not talking about just max cushion. There are shoes out there that have more cushioning. Like the More V5s have a higher cushion stack than these, but these ones feel like insanely good on feet. And when I'm running, I feel like these ones are a little bit more responsive than the More V5s, and just the overall heel toe transition, everything. It's just a smoother ride with like the perfect amount of cushioning. Not too much, but enough to go, dang, these are like insanely good on feet. I don't know. I would have to give it probably like a 9.7 out of 10. I feel like this is like probably one of the highest accolades you can get for just an all-around insanely comfortable ride. At least for my feet, the way that I enjoy sneakers and stuff, these ones hit like pretty much all of the boxes. Anyways, if you guys are interested in buying a pair of the Balos, I'll link them again in the description of the video. I'll also try to put a pinned comment for you guys. If you guys do use my links, again, it supports the channel directly. It's the best way to support the channel, to be honest. Much appreciated. Drop a like if you guys like the video, and check back soon because I'll have that comparison between the 1080s, a little bit more details there, and then the More V5s as well. And then I will have like all of the shoes lined up for the next month to be able to do like a comparison between the Fuel Cell line and the Fresh Foam X line, because there's so many, man. It's just been such a fun year of New Balance sneakers. Well, honestly, some of the best stuff on the market. I absolutely love everything from the lower end stuff to the higher end stuff. Everything's been awesome. So anyways, appreciate y'all for stopping by and watching. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the day. Hopefully we'll see you back on the channel for some more sneaker content soon. Peace, guys.